In this video, we're going to talk about Blair's kit and which are the best to use. I'm not going to put them in rankings since all of them have their uses, but it's entirely up to you. So let's get straight into it. We have Brave. Brave, what it does is all users, and I mean all users, okay? Anyone that's in the game. Sanity reductions will take 20% less sanity. You don't have to worry about this. You kind of have to because it does kind of... Let's talk about this. Let me just select something real quick. Let's talk about these challenges. So if you are doing those challenges, then the kits that you're using will not be affected if you select that challenge. But today we're just going to focus on whether or not the kits are good or not. Now, when it comes to this kit, it is so good. Why? Because it reduces your sanity. Your sanity reduction will take 20% less sanity. So you remember how the previous video when I was talking about the natural sanity drain? Well, instead of probably like 5% on Nightmare, you'll probably take like 4% or 3%, which is somewhere around the hard difficulty. So this is really good if you're running solo. I would use this if I was running solo. Because remember, all user sanity reduction will take 20% less sanity, and the higher sanity you are, the less likely the ghost attacks, unless it is a demon. I believe the demon avoids all sanity. Doesn't matter how high of your sanity is, it will try to attack. And then there's some other ghosts as well. But this is really good for solo play. You got the money, give it a purchase. Now we're going to move on to the engineer. Repairing the fuse box will take 80% less time for the users. Now this is horrible. You can use this, okay? It's your choice, but I wouldn't use it. Why? Because it only has one use, which is repairing the fuse box, and you can do it normally. So this engineer kit is honestly very useless, which is why it's probably like $500 to purchase. Because you can just repair the fuse box normally, and it doesn't even take that long. So having this kit is such a downside, since the other one helps your sanity reduce, which means it will help you stay alive longer. I mean, stopping the ghost from attacking, basically. Yes. So this is just not good. I wouldn't even advise you to use it, but it's your choice. You can use it. It's up to you. Now we move on to the technician. Your experience in working. Okay, so basically your waypoint will be placed at the fuse box, visible for the users. This is also bad. I don't remember how much money it was, but the entire point of it is to give you a waypoint on where the fuse box is, and I don't think this is really helping much. You can just roam around the house while looking for the ghost room and check what the fuse box potential spawn would be. They don't have random spawn. It spawns usually 1 to 2 of the same place. So this is super useless, and I wouldn't even buy it if I were you. I bought it because I was a noob back then. But yeah. But that's for the technician. Now we're gonna move on to the doctor. The users will restore 5% sanity every 60 seconds. Now this is good if you're doing a team build. Now, whether or not, but remember this, the user, okay, just, if you're using the doctor, only you get to restore 5% sanity every 60 seconds, remember that. So, when it comes to this is good if you're running teams. You can also run solo as well. But there's really no point restoring 5 sanity because due to the percentage of sanity drain on Nightmare is 5%. It's not really beneficial much. You can use it. It does have its uses, but I'd rather just go ahead and use Brave instead. But the doctor can be good in team play. But that's it for the doctor. Now we're gonna move on to the Ouija Master. User interacting with Ouija board will cost 50% less sanity. Now this is situational. Now we know there are different curse objects. We know there's the Ouija board, we know there's the tarot cards, and then we know there's a summoning circle, right? The chance for an Ouija board to spawn is sometimes you don't even get the Ouija board in the next like 5 rounds. So this is very situational, and you can't really tell whether or not the Ouija board will spawn in that round or not. So this is entirely up to your opinion whether or not if you want to use this guy. If you use the Ouija board a lot of times, it will reduce your sanity, the costs when you're interacting with the Ouija board. But me personally, I wouldn't use it. If that's the case, I'd rather go use Brave. Much better. But that's it for the Ouija Master. Now we're gonna move on to the Priest. Priest, in my opinion, is the best kit for team play. This is okay for team play, but this is like god tier. While alive, all players, including the user, will lose 5% less sanity. Stacks with other players using the same kit. Stacks, by the way, you have 4 players, that's 20%. That's the equivalent of using a Brave, but in team play. And it also stacks with other player. Isn't that insane? Not only you're getting the benefit from this, but your entire team is also getting the benefit from this. Now this is good for team play because you can use this, and all players, by the way, not just you, all players will lose 5% less sanity. 100% equip this if you are playing with people. It is very crucial for your sanity to not drop too much. I guess if the ghost has something to do directly towards the sanity system, say like a demon for example, then but of course it is based on whatever ghost you're dealing. But this is such a good kit. If you got the money, I don't know how much it was, buy it if you can. But that's it for the Priest. Now we're gonna move on to the Ghost Whisperer, which is what I personally use. And let me explain. User can chat to get spirit box evidence without needing one. Chance of a respawn is increased. User must be in the ghost current room to get evidence. So we all know how spirit box works. You need to be in the same room as the ghost room, right? To get spirit box. That's like common knowledge. But here's the thing. You can chat to get the spirit box evidence without needing one. So I could bring in thermometer, I could bring in EMF, I could bring in some salt in, right? For example, I could go in there and I can get spirit box still. It technically think of it as like the 4th inventory slot. You don't need to bring the spirit box in at all, which is amazing. This is like top tier. If you're running solo, this is good. You're running team, this is also good. Just make sure your team is not running the same build as you. But since we're in random lobby, you don't really know who's using what. But if you got a group of your own, you know, let your team know, be like, hey, I'm gonna use Ghost Whisper, and it's honestly really good. That's 4 inventory slots. So imagine you have you bought the Robux for the 4th inventory slot. That's technically 5 inventory slots, in a sense, because you're using Ghost Whisper. So you have a inner spirit box. Really good. Would buy it if you had the money for it. That's it for the Ghost Whisper. Now we're gonna move on to the All-Seeing. User will emit a moderate light from their character at all times. Here's what you can do. If there's a way, well, for me anyway, I have a monitor. I can turn on the brightness, which is what I tend to do. So technically speaking, I don't need the flashlight at all. And if you play the game very often, you will memorize the layout of the map itself. So I don't really think that this kit is really good anyway, unless you don't have a way to turn up your brightness. Then of course you can use this build. You are welcome to use this kit. Like I said, all the kits in here have its use. It's just my opinion. I'm putting into it. Whether you take it or not is entirely up to you. And of course this costs up to 2,500. I'm not gonna buy that. But that's it for the All-Seeing. We're gonna move on to these 3s right here. Now these 3s are Robux specific. Okay, if you have the Robux, you can spend on it. It's entirely up to you. But I'm going to explain them anyway. But we're gonna get into the cat. User is revived once after death. After revive, -1 inventory slot and greatly reduced stamina. So, sure, you get a revive, yay. That means if you get touched by the ghost, you still respawn. But the only problem is, if you the problem is you come back with -1 inventory slots and your stamina is greatly reduced. So this is a kind of like a situational type of kit. Okay, it's good for solo, it's good for team, only if you're using it for yourself. But if you have Robux, I would not advise for you to buy this. You can, okay, you absolutely can. It is entirely up to you. You can buy it, you can test it on your own, and if you see it fit for you, your playstyle, you are welcome to do so. But with me, I would not buy. Why? Minus the Robux anyway. The fact that you come back to death and you lose 1 inventory slot and your stamina is greatly reduced, when I can get a tarot cards and have a chance to get the High Priestess, which is when you die you come back to life. Although it's still a chance, it's better, and you still come back with full inventory slot and still with full stamina. And yeah, normal average drain stamina instead of dealing with this. So of course, entirely up to you. If you want to buy it, go for it, but I wouldn't advise. Anyways, that's it for the cat. We're gonna move on to the wimp. User's stamina is doubled. The walk and sprint speed is slightly increased. So this guy will be this speedrunner. If you are a speedrunner and you got Robux, this kit is extremely good. Not only your stamina is doubled, but your walk speed and sprint speed is increased. So that means you can run away from the ghost much further, you can run away from it much faster, unless it is a fast ghost, and I wish you the best of luck. But this is really good for solo play and for team play. Yes. So if you got the Robux, go for it. This is really good. But that's it for the win. We're gonna move on to the pickpocket. Permanent +1 inventory slots when equipped. This is meta. Like this kit is crazy. So you gain 1 inventory slot, so that's 4 slots. You already have 3 as the beginning, but this is 4. Not only that, let me show you guys something. Not only you get 4 slots, I believe in the store over here. I hope that music is not copyright. I'm just gonna walk away. You can buy a +1 inventory slot. That is 5 slots. For the price of $7.99, and the other one, which is $4.29 if I remember correctly. Hold on. $7.49. So you have 5 slots. I don't know if they stack or not, but imagine if they do. I don't have the money to test, but if they do, that is crazy. Not only you can bring in spirit box, you can bring a thermometer, you can bring in EMF, you can bring in a camera, you can bring in salt. You can bring so many things. It is insane. You can in and out very quickly. It probably takes like 2 runs in and out because you have 5 inventory slots. That is if these things do stack. But this is so good. If I have the Robux, I'll probably buy this. It's between the pickpocket and the wimp, but the pickpocket can be good too. Good in team play, good in solo play. But I hope you find this helpful. If you guys have any questions, please put it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.